Here, let's go
Alright, y'all, they got a little carried away with that song because I started thinking about my motherfucking new boo, y'all, right now. Shit, I motherfucking is right. You know when you were a little kid, y'all remember back when you was in like elementary and you first liked a girl and you would send her a note and you would like put it in like in the shape of a football. You'd be like, do you like me? Will you be my girlfriend? And then she would answer no, and she would pass it back to you, and y'all be going back and forth. And you know how that make you all happy and shit. You don't even know nothing about what you trying to do. You just want that fact that you know you like this little girl. Well, that's how I'm feeling right now. 45 years old, and feeling like a little kid again because it's something motherfucking goddamn new. And it got me motherfucking smiling. And I ain't smiled in a minute, so I'm happy right now. So if y'all ain't happy, I'm sorry, but I'm happy. And let me tell you something. I'm getting ready to do review this show, and I wasn't sure how I was going to do it because these movies like Rush Hour, when they try to do the TV series off of it, it came off flat. There's only one Chris Tucker, and there's only one Jackie Chan, and it just didn't come across as Rush Hour. I didn't like him. And then they had the Black Uncle Buck with Mike Epps. I would have preferred him to stay in Survivor Remorse. But I'm going to tell you right now that Damon Wayans right now did his damn thing in this movie for real. Okay, and I'm not going to even lie because I'm going to review Lethal Weapon. Okay, I don't know what this episode is called. It's a pilot. It is not called The Exorcist. I know that. Whatever this episode is called, it's a pilot episode. It's the very first episode. It's the season premiere first episode of Lethal Weapon. Season 1, episode 1. And this is a really good episode, y'all. And the reason why it's good is because this first episode is just like it was. I mean, you know, there's some small changes. But if you know the movie from 1987, now, you know, the millennials, okay, is what they call them now in politics. The millennials might not know. And if you go back and you like older movies, or your mom and pops might like older movies, back in 1987, because you want to know something, my boo. I told him I went to school. I went to Howard August the 6th, 1988. He said, 1988? He said, nigga, I was only 4 years old then. Ain't that some motherfucking goddamn shit, yo? So I'm just gonna tell y'all. So this is it back in '87. So if y'all in y'all 30s, y'all still might not know what this is right now. But Lethal Weapon had several. I think it was like 4 of them. And I didn't know where it was gonna come in at. I didn't know how this was gonna actually start off. But they took it back from the very beginning. You know where I thought they was gonna start? Because you know this right now, this episode, what I'm getting ready to give y'all right now is going to be a recap, but it's going to be pretty much to let you know what the whole movie series was and who the characters are and what roles that they play. Okay, and why they are the way that they are. Okay, and we're going to get to that, but that's the way from this point on. You can, if you did not see it, and you come in on episode 2 and you see this thing, you at least understand who these characters are and what roles that they are actually playing. So I'm not going to give you no bit by bit pieces, because that's not what this real story of this first episode is. And for the people who were born in, who was watching this in '87 and watch 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, then you're gonna take it for you're going to enjoy this because it actually takes you back to that era from that very first episode. Only problem is it got Damon Wayans as instead of Danny Glover, and it has what's his name Crawford, Clayne Crawford is Mel Gibson. And I didn't know how he was going to play, but everybody in this episode is good. And y'all want to know something? I'm going to tell you this right now. Keisha Sharp, you know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Nia Long. Her and Nia Long can be kin. And that's who I thought it was at first, Nia Long. That's Murtaugh's wife, but we're going to get to who the characters are. But I want to get back to the point of how this is set up. I thought it was going to probably start off, because his wife was saying that she was getting ready to have a baby. I thought that this was going to go from that fourth Lethal Weapon 4 when he was with the cop and they got together and she was pregnant, she was getting ready to have a baby. I thought that it was going to pick up from there. Well, Riggs. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, Clayne Crawford. He plays Martin Riggs. Riggs is the crazy one. He's the one that's ready to die, and y'all will know why in a second. And then Damon Wayans is the Glover, is the Danny Glover, and his character is Roger Murtaugh. Okay, Roger has 3 kids. He has Rihanna, and he has Roger Jr., and then he has another little baby. Now, in the original movie, the baby was maybe about 6 or 7. I mean, she was a little older than this one, because this one is really literally a baby. Like I said, there's little deviations between this one and the original Lethal Weapon 1, which this series can go on for a long time if it's going to follow that. They don't even have to have the same stories, because as long as it's going to go in that direction, it can stay on for a long time. Because there was those 4 movies produced a lot of different things that they could go into. Okay, so these are the characters. But Keisha Sharp is Murtaugh's wife, and then they got Roger, and I don't know what his acting name is, and Rihanna. All of them, they cute. Martin, but let's get back to Martin. So the whole episode starts off with Martin out trying to catch these dudes out this desert land, and they going for it, and he gets a call from his wife. And you know, Martin's crazy anyway. Okay, I'm gonna call him Riggs, because really everybody calls him Riggs. The only person calls him Martin is Keisha Sharp, and everybody else. Everybody else in this precinct, everybody calls him Riggs, and everybody calls Roger Murtaugh. Okay, everybody does. They go by their last name up in the police force, and so that's why I'm gonna all go by the last names when I do mention these people. So he's on the truck, and they going after his truck, and wife said, "Well, I'm getting ready to go to the hospital to have your son." And he was like, "Oh, it's coming now? Oh, what you want me to do?" She said, "Look, calm down. I just want you to meet me at the hospital." He's like, "Fuck this." They was chasing that truck. He said, his partner was like, "You can't, what, you just gonna let them get away?" He said, "No, I got this." And he'd get that guy and say, "Man, we too far away. You ain't gonna be able to get this shit." He said, "Shut the fuck up. I got this." He hit that motherfucking thing, and he told the old dude to get off the truck because their backup was coming, and he sit there and shot towards the hospital. But she going to the car. She going to the hospital. La-da-da-da-da-da. BAM! Yeah, that bitch got hit by a car. Now, y'all know my head well. No! No, not while she's pregnant. She could have this baby. No! But you know what? I had to go back to why Riggs was so fucking crazy. Riggs didn't have nothing to live for in the very first movie, because, and how he even came to be with Murtaugh was he had given up because he just lost his wife. And I can't remember if she was killed in a car accident, and I cannot remember if she was pregnant or not. I cannot remember that, and I am going to go watch Lethal Weapon 1 to find that out, but I'm not going to do that tonight because I got too many reviews to do. But I was like, oh no. But I said, yep, that's exactly what happened. Now, Roger, on the other hand, He didn't just had a baby with Keisha. And I told you they had two older kids. One is like probably in junior high, and one is probably getting ready to go in high school. And he had a baby. Now he didn't had a heart attack. I thought he got hurt on the job. He didn't had a heart attack when she was delivering the baby. He almost died. So he is just getting ready to go back to work. And when he gets back to work, his captain tells him, "I'm assigning you a partner." He said, "Sir, I'm just coming back. I'm not ready to be babysitting no newbie, no the one dude that has PSD code. Martin has come from the military." He said, "Well, man, come on, take it on." So now there's this call of this guy. People holding people hostage in the bank. He gets to the scene, and Martin comes up to him, and he's like, "Sir, look, you gotta sit," because he's dressed in civilian clothes just like Murtaugh is, but Murtaugh has his little badge and all that type of shit, and he doesn't know he's a cop. He said, "Look, sir, you gotta get over here." And so Martin sits there and says, "Okay." He then goes up in the what's the name. Murtaugh don't really realize. He said, "Oh, we got a civilian going up in there." He said, "He ain't no civilian. He's a cop." He said, "His name is Martin Riggs." He said, "Riggs." He said, "He's my new partner." And so he don't know him from Adam. He just met him. He just thought he was just a regular Joe Mo. And he goes up into this bank or wherever they holding these hostages at. He's like, "Look, these motherfuckers out here trying to get you. Now, what is you trying to get?" And he said, "Well, we want to get up out of here." He said, "Well, I don't think that's going to happen. But look, you know what I think will happen? If you let these motherfuckers know that you're serious and kill somebody." Now they hear everything that's going on outside at the command thing or whatever. They said, "What is he doing?" He ain't. They sleeping on him, and right now he don't care if he gets killed or not because really he don't have nothing to live for. And that's the whole thing. He goes up in here, and y'all go. That's his whole attitude is that he don't have nothing to live for. And so he go up in there, and the guy said, "I might as well sit there and go ahead and kill you." And so he sit there and lean down. He said, "Well, no." First of all, he said, "Well, first of all, if you go kill somebody, make sure it's somebody important. So let's make them white. Because if you shoot somebody of color or somebody else, it ain't gonna have that much of an effect." I said, "Nigga, you ain't never said a lie right now." That's exactly how these motherfuckers think. He can sit there and tag a nigga off and they be like, "Oh, that's just the way the cookie motherfucker crumbles. We let him shoot a white person, oh, those motherfuckers gonna come in guns blazing. Guns blazing." So he sit there and said, "Wait a minute." He said, "If you gonna do it, don't motherfucking miss." And so he done put his stuff on the table. And you wanna know something? Being the slick ass motherfucker that he is, he ends up shooting everybody in that motherfucking goddamn room, and nobody gets the fuck up. Now the guy has this lever with this bomb, and he sits there and presses it, so everybody gets the fuck out of the building. He goes and gets him a slice of pizza because he went in there underneath the skies with these pizzas. Got a slice of pizza. He come out walking. He said, "Me and you gonna make great partners," and the building blows the fuck up. So they up in the captain's office. The captain said, "What the fuck happened?" And so anyway, whoever Martin has, and we later learn at the end of the episode that his wife, her father, has all these strings that he can be able to pull, and that's the reason why he's not even getting any trouble right now. But he brought his daughter home after the accident instead of having her being buried in Texas and bring her back to her dad. And her dad knows that she loved him. And she would have went anywhere with him. And so he's taking him on like a son right now. Even though he lost his daughter and his grandchild, he still is his son. And even though he's fucking up right now, he understands what he's going through because that was his daughter too, and he knows he loved her. But we don't know that until the very end, and I'm not going to come back to that whole scene why it's on my mind. So there's a DOA. Why Murtaugh was in there telling the captain, "This motherfucker psycho. He don't care. He's willing to die." He said, "I don't even know how to be able to deal with him." He said, "Look," he said, "I don't know who he is and who's pulling the strings, but they didn't sit there and cover this ass, and you gonna have to stick with him a little bit longer." So he said, "There's a DOA." They get to the DOA, and it's supposed to be a suicide. But the guy had his dog tags on from when he was in the military. So, Riggs decided that he was going to make sure that he did a proper investigation for him. So he wants to go talk to his wife. Now, Murtaugh, Now, Murtaugh is still just recovering from his heart attack, so he has this little wristwatch on that shows when his pressure is going up. Okay, so they go over to the wife and talk to the wife, and she boo him. She said he wouldn't have killed himself. I don't know what is going on, but he wouldn't have killed himself. So they come out of the house, and Murtaugh was like, "Wait a minute, something ain't right. If you was to kill yourself, how would you do it?" And so he's like, well, pills, drowning myself, or there's many different ways I could be able to do it. If you was to shoot yourself. So he said, well, let me see your gun. So he got it, said he can do it right here. Like, how crazy he is in the actual movie. But there's no bullets or anything in that. He said, but you would use your dominant hand, right? Why would whatever his name is, it was a Spanish name, or Alfonso, or whatever his name. Why would he use not use his dominant hand? Why would he use his left hand? He said, so now he's questioning. So now they gonna do some investigating. So they went to his place of work. Now his place of work got some shady characters that go in. They got all these fancy cars in there, and they go up in there, and old dude was sitting there talking about he said, well, your buddy just got killed. He said he wasn't our buddy. He was a rent-a-cop. He's not our buddy. And then this guy with tattoos coming up. He said, well, wonder about him. Oh, he's an employee. And so the dude kept on walking. So Riggs said he gonna go question him. And when he goes back there, oh, dude took a swing on him. And then when he took a swing on him, he said, then, Riggs got some skills to him. He know how to take him down. But then two guys with two guns come and they pop out. He said, look, I'm the cop. And they said, well, so what you gonna do? And he sit there and end up shooting them. And then old dude starts running and gets away in the car. And so he come running and Murtaugh don't know what the fuck is going on. And he jump in the car and they chasing him. He don't know why they chasing him. Just the fact that why is this motherfucker running? Let me tell y'all this. This is the funniest shit in the world. So they doing the car chase, and they end up going into into a racetrack where there is a race going on, and all these cars are coming like boom, boom, and I'm like, well, where the fuck is these motherfuckers at? They Daytona 500 or whatever it was. One of them type of races, those race car races, and those motherfuckers. So then they go fast there. And he ends up wrecking it. The guy comes out and they finally think they're going to get him and then he gets killed. Well, so the captain was like, you motherfuckers that caused all this damage. I'm getting calls from every single body. Y'all done cost all this money. And this is just a whole bunch of bullshit. So you don't got to worry about it. Murtaugh, you going to get a new partner. I'm going to re-sign both of y'all. So you got your wish. You going to get rid of a new partner. And so they kind of go their separate way. He said, man, no offense, but you just a little bit too wild for me. He said, man, I seen your face when we was driving. I could tell you were scared. So you need to you don't need to be doing this no more because you really done lost your nerve. He said, I ain't scared. I just want to live. He said, well, whatever the case might be, I think you should just give it up. Okay, you might be a nice guy. I'm not going to take that away from you, but I think you should give it up because you said. And that nigga was scared. His watch that was taking his pressure was all the way up to the motherfucking brim. So he stopped past the house because he'd have had a chance to think about it. And he sat there and went past the house. And this motherfucker, y'all don't even understand. You have to know. Go watch the movie Lethal Weapon 1 and how he wiggled his way into and Murtaugh didn't want him to meet his family. But he go up in there and they said that, so the wife was like, come on in here, you his partner, come on in. And welcome him in with open arms. She ain't never met the man before, but she finds out he's his partner. And of course he goes, oh, yeah, I am kind of hungry. And he come and sit his ass down there. And Damon Wayans, when I was seeing these previews, I was like, Damon Wayans is normally a funny dude. And I can't see Murtaugh in this thing is not a funny dude. He's the more serious one, where Riggs is the one to be off the chain. So I didn't know how they was going to do it. But their roles really coincide. So we come in, and the son was talking about something, but he going to enlist. He said, yeah, I think you should. And Keisha Sharp, the mother, she was sitting there looking at him like, this motherfucker, why is he sitting there suggesting this? He said, you gonna see somebody get the hair blown off, I mean, there's nothing better than that. Or if you really want to piss your parents off, because he knew that he was saying he was going to get enlisted, that he was going to go into the service, because he was really doing that to rebel against his father, because they know the family, his mom and dad didn't want him to do that, so he was just trying to buck and go that way. So he was making this picture where he was just making a funny out of it. But then the girl said, "See, mom, that's what I'm talking about." And then Moy said, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know, I like to be kept in the loop. She said, well, I decided to experiment with some weed. Oh, he said, you did that too? Oh, I know some good shit. And she was really like, she was really like, no, this motherfucker ain't sitting there trying to encourage her to smoke some weed. But she said, but no. He said, well, oh no. When she gave that look, he said, no, well, you kids shouldn't be doing that. But what you should do is get your dad something, because he's a little bit tight. And you know, once he did that, it was a little funny. And he was like, the family is loving him, and they just know he's just so motherfucking goddamn cool. But the move got molested because she said, are you married, Martin? And he was like, no, that wasn't in the cards. And so Murtaugh trying to be funny, and he really is not the funny person. Goes, oh, you probably sit there and ran her off. He said, no, she passed away. And y'all know she lost a child. So he didn't go that far to tell that, but he does end up telling Murtaugh that part. So Murtaugh is understanding him, and he's understanding Murtaugh. He understands how important how their family is. So they decided that they was going to go check out, what's the name? He was going. So they went to the morgue, and when they went to the morgue, they found out there was something more. And I missed certain parts, but they decided, oh, there's something to this motherfucking shit. So he said, I'm gonna go back to the wife, and you figure out what's really going on here. And do a background check on him and see who he's connected with, and different people that are in his life. So they separated. So he goes to the wife's house. To the wife of the guy who was supposedly committed suicide. She came to the door. You need to go, and slammed the door. And so he was like, no. She said, you need to go. He said, well, I know it's kind of late. She said, no, I'm sorry, you busy. You need to go. Now the bitch is in the house with no lights on, y'all. He walking back to the house, and he's no dummy, but he gets back to the car. He knew something was motherfucking wrong. He goes up in there. The bitch don't even know she is. She's going through drawers and shit. And he puts his hand over her mouth. He said, you be a mom, ain't you? She said, so she told him they took her son. And when they took her son, they said she won't get her son back until she gets him the drugs that her husband has stole from her. She don't know where the drugs are. She ain't never seen no drugs. She's clueless. And so she's going through some changes right now, y'all. I mean, no bullshit, some real changes. But he said, I'm gonna get your son back. So he go back to his house here where he get locked and loaded. Okay. Locked and loaded. And Murtaugh shows up at his place. He got one of them little trailer motherfucking houses out of no motherfucking goddamn where land. And he said, where you going ready to go, partner? He said, it seems like to me that we ain't gonna go back to where we ain't trusting each other, because I'm gonna start off because I'm coming bearing good news. So he did the background search on the people. The guy that died, who had ties with him, they were in the same military, and plus the guy who was the owner at that warehouse that when he first originally came in, the main guy, the main head mob guy, he was part of the connection. So they knew he had something to do. He said, so where are you going? He said, they done took the girl's kid. He says, oh, so you gonna just go back and get him? Like, you just gonna walk in there? He said, well, that's what the plan is. He said, well, you ain't going alone. He said, no, man, you got a nice family. I ain't gonna let you. He said, you ain't going nowhere without me. He said, well, cool. Well, if you're going to, you're going to have to sit there and bring you something. He got this table full of these guys. He went over there to get ready to get wine. He just slipped the handcuffs on him and handcuffed him to the like whatever. No, I don't know. It was something that was connected to a counter, and he couldn't get disconnect from it. He said, look, you got a good family. They need you. I'm gone. Well, I already knew. Motherfucker, he gonna get rid of this motherfucker shit. But the thing is, he took his keys. Well, when he took his keys to his car, I'm like, well, how's he gonna get, when he does get away, how's he gonna get there? But, okay, if he took your keys, then his keys gotta be there. So he has his truck where he was driving. But anyway, he goes there. He walks up into that warehouse where he went earlier. He said, look, I know you got the kid. He said, and because you want your shit back, and I mean, you gonna sit there and give me that motherfucking kid. Now you have two options. One, you can go ahead and give me the kid, or two, you can go ahead and kill me, and then you gonna be wanted for the rest of your life for being a cop killer, and then you gonna be on the run, and you ain't gonna get your shit. And plus, you ain't. I mean, then you gonna be on the run, on the run for the rest of your life. So what you wanna do? He said, well, put down your gun, and then I'm gonna I'll show you the kid. So he puts down the gun, and they bring the kid out. He said, now what? Now his gun is down there. He don't have no backup. And he just waiting. And he said, okay. So everybody got their guns on him. And they get ready to tell him to light that motherfucker up. But guess who comes through the motherfucking goddamn window in the pickup truck saving the motherfucking day but Murtaugh. He done broke his that handle and came there handcuffed on and was getting ready right on time. So they should shoot up everybody. They shoot up everybody. And but there's one person on the roof, so they coming out, got the little kid and everything, and Riggs gets shot in the shoulder. And so they go down and say, look, the guy on the roof said, you better sit there and I'm going to sit there, getting that kid, so y'all better throw your guns out. Murtaugh only has, he don't have his gun right now because he just got shot in the shoulder. Murtaugh only has one round left. He said, I only got one round left. He said, well, what I'm going to do? But this nigga's ready to die because he has nothing to live for because he lost his daughter and his wife. So this nigga don't have nothing to live for right now. So he's not afraid to die right now. So he sit there. Look, you just make sure that you get this shot off. Because when he shoots me, that'll give us away his position. You'll have that one shot. And so, I'm like, well, what the fuck? He gonna go out there. He said, well, here I am. An old dude sitting there getting ready to cop. And Murdoch was here. He shot him in the foot. And then when he shot him in the foot, he went down and took his shot, so he missed him. And they sit there and shot. And Rick was able to get his pistol. His automatic, and be able to shoot the old dude and kill him. So so everything is solved. But they gotta go back to the captain. But everything's gonna get cleared up by the captain. The strings that Martin has, he's going to happen to see a psychologist. But the strings that he's sitting there, and he did actually see one because she's like, you ain't gonna get cleared to go back to duty by yourself and have a gun until you go through me. So he had that little meeting, and that's gonna be somebody who he's gonna have dealings with. She's always gonna be trying to figure him out, but she never gonna be able to figure him out. She's the same. If y'all watch the movie, she plays this doctor plays the same role as the bishop on in the movie. He's always talking about there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him. Anyway. But so he sit there, old dude who was his father-in-law got him cleared through IA once again. Ain't no problems. So he went past the house and sit there and said, I know we said we wasn't going to be good partners, but I'm just appreciate you sitting there saving my life. So he was like, Murtaugh was Gary rush him off right to get him. I said, oh no, you he didn't tell me all this, Martin. You better come up in here. So that was basically the episode, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. Watch Lethal Weapon 1. You don't gotta watch 2, 3, or 4 because once you know 1, you know where this story is basically going. Because if they did not do a very damn good job on this one to make you at least believe that you were watching the movie, the way the movie somewhat went. You know how you do a remake of a movie and it might change a little things, but not a whole bunch. They did a damn good job on this. And if y'all know the one from 1987, y'all tell me what y'all think. But I am going to review this show because I'm going to see where it's going to go. I looked it up on IMDb. There's only 3 episodes that they're just showing. I'm hoping that there's only more than 3 episodes. But they're only showing the first 3 episodes that are going to be showing. I'm sure that there'll be more once they get through. But right now they have 3 solids. So as long as y'all watch this show, it will be on. And remember to like this stuff. If you have not watched me, and I'm getting a new subscriber because this is a new type of show, y'all go ahead and subscribe to me. Okay, because I'm going to give it to you like I'm going to give it to you. And if you've seen it, tell me how good you think it is. Comment, y'all. What is the problem? Comment on my stuff and tell me what you think. Don't just watch this pretty face. And, come on, we got to sit there and embark on a conversation with me. Okay, you never motherfucking know. We might be able to get some little chit-chat going on. You can be in my motherfucking ass or something. or something. Anyway, y'all, I'm out. Peace. I gotta do Designated Survivor next, and I gotta do If Loving You Is Wrong, and I gotta do Queen Sugar. So I got a lot of shit to do. So I will see y'all in just a minute and a second. And a whoop whoop. Holla.